guys, welcome back to Budget Bushcraft. My name's BK. Just decided to take a little walk today. It's 62 degrees. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's almost December here in Indiana. Anyway, I think when I get back to the house, I'm going to do a review on my new Banshee 200 tent. So let's go check it out. Alright, let's talk about the budget tent. It is a Banshee 200 TBS2 tension band system, 5,000 millimeter waterproof. It's almost like a honeycomb effect. I don't know if you can see that. It's extremely watertight. It's fire resistant. And it's got the Powerlight 7001 T6 alloy poles, which are color coded. This pole at all of its joints here and on the other side are blue, hence the blue tab here. Let's take a peek from out here. This obviously is the head of the tent. You've got guy out points to pull it a little bit separate. It is actually like a two tent system. The internal orange tent is separate, but connected by bungees to the internal, or the external, sorry, portion. We have a tensioning strap here, which keeps the tent taut on this side. Again, these guy lines that are coming out from here have a reflective material on them, so at night they just glow like you wouldn't believe. So you're not likely to trip over them as long as you've got a headlamp or a headlight. Pardon the sun covering that up. There is an additional opening on this side. Even though this claims to be a two-man tent, there is no way you're going to comfortably sleep two people in this, but it is perfect for one person and some gear. Again, totally watertight. I've seen hundreds of YouTube videos about this. I've had it in the rain once. Not a drop. The condensation doesn't occur to the inside of that because, again, they are like two separate tents. This green on the outside is basically a connected tarp where there's at least 2-3 inches at some points that don't have any contact at all with the internal tent. Here you've got a little vestibule for storing your pack, maybe boots, food, anything extra. I don't know that I would suggest storing food out here because there are lots and lots of critters in the woods. So let's take a look at the inside. Alright, I am right at 6 feet. My shoes are not touching the bottom or the foot end, nor are they touching the ventilation area. Here is the second doorway. It does have about a 3.5 to 4 inch tub to the floor. There are self-tensioning straps so that if the wind gets bad, you don't have to get outside and tighten up the guy lines or the tent. You can do it all from in here. And I'll flip you upside down. There is the head end. I'm going to get up and we'll go look at this from the other end of the tent. Again, plenty of room in here to keep some things from getting soaking wet, with the tension system going through the tent up to the top. In the head end, we also have, I don't have that guide out very well, but we have another vent here, and there's a little bit of room in there from the outside tarp portion that you could store some shoes or maybe Again, anything you wanted to keep from getting wet that you wouldn't want to access from inside the tent without having to open the main door and reach out into here. I mentioned there are 2 pockets here for your cell phone, maybe a snack, something of that nature, as well as there is on the other side. Nope. And I forgot to mention, there is part of this bungee that keeps the tarp off the top of the tent, which you can see up inside the ventilation netting there, is a small little loop here where you can hang a lamp or anything you wanted to keep dry. I've seen some like cell phone holders that would hang through here, where you could literally sit at this angle and watch movies or listen to music if you wanted to. Or we set it up this way. It's basically a inexpensive 5x7 tarp from Walmart. I just happened to kind of camo paint the top of it a little bit. But given that the tent itself is completely waterproof, or basically completely waterproof, we can keep the rain flowing at an angle off of the porch. Pardon me before I trip over this black bank line. And from inside of here, I can have a small fire as long as we keep it pitched to the angle where the heat escapes. So here's my cover. I have the Banshee 200 tent. Basically, it's 2 tents in one. You have an internal tent and an external fly. The fly is attached to the tent, which keeps the condensation down because it's attached with the bungee cords from the inside. This is the best tent I've ever purchased. It's marketed as a 2-person tent, but it's really only big enough for one unless you're really, really close to the other person. And I mean close. I'm 6 foot and 185 pounds. This is about the right size for me with my gear and pretty much nothing else. I also have a 5x7 tarp that's already grommeted from Walmart and a couple of trekking poles. I'll leave some prices, probably scrolling up here, that I paid for the tent and the tarp and the trekking poles. I've just used some extra bank line to guide those out. This is, again, another example of just being able to get out and have fun. I could have a small fire right here, and as long as this tarp is pitched at the right angle, it's never going to melt this. But I wouldn't want to have some raging overnight huge inferno underneath this thing, or I'm going to wake up to just having my guide out poles here. So get out and enjoy this and have a good time. And again, don't spend a lot of money. I want to give a really big shout out to a friend of mine, Cindy, for having my logo made into a t-shirt. I'm just going to keep doing this until you guys get tired of it. But stay tuned and watch for the next episode. Thanks, guys.